But I've been saying this for a long time as well. That same theory that you said Ford is doing. I always thought if I was the University of Akron, I went to the University of Akron,
Okay.
I would go out, and if I was the dean or the president of the university, I'd go out and I'd buy 500 flip cameras like we're doing right now.
Absolutely.
And I would send them out to every freshman, like 1 out of every 5 freshmen coming in. I'd go, just film yourself and come by once a week and dump the footage into our data bank, and we're going to take that video and we're going to make real videos of what it's like to go the first week of the University of Akron. But I don't understand why more businesses don't get that.
I can tell you exactly why they don't do that. Because they're scared crapless of what someone might really say or do.
But
unfortunately, what's the problem is if you look at, let's take a University of Akron. It's perfect. Go take a look at the breakdown of the diversity on the University of Akron's campus.
Lots of commuters, yeah.
So you'll see, like if you just look at it from an ethnic standpoint, you see a percentage of Caucasian, a percentage of African Americans, a percentage of this. But then go look at all of the literature that they send out to prospective students, and take that same thing and look at what the data is for that.
Right.
And it won't be anywhere close to what it really truly is, because as marketers especially, they always want to show you the best they can possibly show you because they're trying to sell you. I think if a school did that and had some people that could regulate it and make sure that students aren't, hey guys, let's go take pictures of our butts and upload that, and there was some way they could get a lot of really amazing footage that would really, really work.
All right, so I gotta know, have you ever thought about doing a second version of the video? If so, why didn't you do it? And 2, the follow-up to that question is, has anyone ever come to you and said, look, we're gonna write you a big fat check and we want you to do the video for us?
Okay, I did do a second version of it.
Oh, you did? See, I don't know.
Well, and what happened was, and it's on YouTube, you can see it on YouTube, when I was working with a third party, I was working with a second party contact, this group called People Jam. We found a sponsor to help pay for the song rights, which was a huge chunk of change to get 18 songs. When we went to upload it, I wasn't a partner on YouTube, so I couldn't upload it on my YouTube page. We had to do it on People Jam's YouTube page. And when we talked to them about it, they said, this is the way it's got to be. Okay, no problem. And I think it's like 6 or 7 million views, which is, honestly, that's amazing.
It's amazing.
In all reality, because that's way more than most videos get.
Right.
And it's tough because you're trying to compare it to something else that was really an anomaly in itself. If you look at the top, there's lots of people that have done a lot of data collecting, and if you look at the top 100 videos on YouTube, the percentages of them that are content created by just normal people is really, really low. It's almost all videos, commercials, something that some big agency or some big company or some music group did and then pushed through in some sort of way.
So I think the last question I have for you is the same one I asked you after you did your dance on stage just now. Was, what advice do you have for somebody? Either it's just somebody in a college dorm room, or a small business owner, or somebody who wants to try and make a viral video and duplicate the type of success that you've had. What do they got to do? I mean, what's the first step? And then give us your thoughts.
Well, I think the biggest thing is why do you want
to
have that success? Are you doing it because you're trying to increase business? Are you trying to increase sales? Do you want to become famous? Do you want to, are you trying to make something funny enough that people will recognize you and you get to be on Saturday Night Live? Are you going to be a filmmaker?
Very important.
If you really take a good look at why you want to have that success, it'll help determine where you need to have that success at. If you're just looking to, I want to get on TV once, well, I mean, you could go out tomorrow probably and make a video that was so weird. I mean, if you shot yourself, don't ever do this, but if you shot yourself in the leg and then did the hokey pokey, somebody somewhere is going to go, you should see what this guy did. Let's show him tonight on Daylight, And so you might get that little tiny glitch of that. Content that is good will always rise to the top eventually. And one of the things I think I've really learned a lot in watching other people is patience with a purpose. Is if you make something that's really good, eventually people will find it. It wasn't like my video came out and the next day it got really, really big. It took 4 weeks before anybody even started sending it at all. And then there was a big, lap that. If you look at some of the other videos that have had recent success, like Where the Hell is Matt, when he came out with it, he's a very, very, very unique, because every single one of his videos has gotten more views than the previous one, which is really, really hard to do if you ever have a really good, successful internet video. Usually what happens is the follow-ups don't get as much.
So Actually, I do have one more question. I want
Sure.
you to just tell the people watching right now, because I'm big on this. I'm on inspiration, the things that come. What happened when you thought of this? Give the real quick story about how you thought of this, and more importantly, what you did to just go take action to make it happen.
I agree. There's a lot of great people that have great ideas, and they don't do anything to follow through with it. So when I came up with the idea for the evolution of dance, it literally was like a light bulb that went off in my head. I ran upstairs to the hotel room I was staying in. I wrote down, and I still have the piece of paper. It's in a frame now with the original
That's
Crush
great.
shirt that I was wearing.
Should.
And it says the evolution of dance, and it's got the first 12 songs that I thought of. It's got one that's like scratched out, and another one that's like plugged in there, and so what I did is I asked a bunch of people, hey, if you saw this, do you think it would be funny? And they were always kind of like, well, it sounds like it'd be funny. It seems like it would be funny. And so I bought a mixing program on the internet, got all the songs, and mixed the track together. The one other thing that I've learned in watching other people dance, have little dance medleys, because I'm not the first person to come up with a dance medley.
Right.
I may have been one of the first people to do it in a chronological order and call it the evolution of dance, but if you go to a review of sometimes, they do songs in order and stuff, but the music was so important to make sure that the transitions were very, very clear, and they very much were like right on the beat, and there wasn't like an awkward switch from one song to the next. Because the music, I'm not naive, the music in the video is just as important as the dance, if not more important. So from an inspiration standpoint, if you have an idea, just try it, just do it. When you get it to a point that you're happy with it, you don't have to do it on the first take. I mean, I was doing the dance for 4 years before I ever put a video on the internet of it. Now, granted, internet video didn't exist when I first started doing it, and thankfully, because if a couple of the early ones would have got up there, it might have not gone over so well.
Well, I appreciate your time. Where can people find out more about you if they want to book you for an event or?
Sure. My website is mightaswelldance.com.
Might as well dance.
Yep.
Okay.
So MIGHTASWELLDANCE. So mightaswelldance.com. And I'm on Facebook and Twitter and MySpace and LinkedIn and all the other great sites that we have.
And just to confirm, you do the dance on stage for your presentation. So
correct. At the end of my speech is the dance is normally what I do to close things out.
I just saw it, and it was really well done and well received. So thanks very much for taking the time today. I appreciate it.
Sure. My pleasure.
Thank you
Thanks
very
for
much.
having me.
Bye-bye.